Hello. Right, today what we're going to do in our little kitchen here, little kitchenette in fact, it's quite small, we're going to make a Palak Paneer, which is basically spinach with, normally it would be paneer, which is a
the dairy product.
A dairy product, but this is tofu. So we're making that.
But it tastes the same, I feel, because I was a big fan of that, but I'm fan of this now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This again will not probably be traditional. Everyone's going to sort of complain that we haven't stuck to the script, but this is how we make it. What I'm going to do, we've got to go out quite soon and feed the dogs, so I'm just going to go through it and cook it. I'll tell you what I'm putting in as I go along, but I'm just going to keep it moving along as if I was cooking it for my dinner, which I actually am. So let's go. So what we have here on this plate, we have these, I'm not very good at pronouncing this, they're Szechuan pepper pods.
Szechuan pepper.
Oh, listen to her, listen.
Szechuan pepper, Steve.
Okay.
Learn it.
Now these are the pods. What you will find inside is a little hard black pea type thing that you throw away. We don't tend to eat that. And it's one of the ingredients of five spice. So this will be ground in amongst the five spice. Chinese use that a lot. This is the seeds out of a black cardamom pod. The black ones are slightly different. They've got more of a smoky taste, milder and more smoky. Then we've got a couple of chilies, mildish green chilies, 2 of those. A smallish onion chopped. We've got some matchsticks of ginger. Probably 4 garlic cloves, sort of sliced, so reasonably big pieces. Some crushed coriander seeds. And a few fennel seeds, soft, that's it. Okay, I'm getting there with that now.
Yes, you're learning it gradually.
Everything else I'll mention to you as I go along. I'm going to put in various powders and concoctions as we go along. Okay, so first things first is to light the gas. Now we'll have a little bit of a medium heat here. Okay, so we're on medium heat. I'm going to use a normal cooking oil. This is a soya oil. So I'm just going to do a little dash of that in there. Just let that heat for a moment.
Look at his tricks.
Yes.
Old man's tricks.
Old man's tricks, that's it. Right.
He's not an old man though.
First things first. I'm going to put a few mustard seeds in. So this would be approximately a teaspoon of mustard seeds.
Okay.
But because of my laser vision, I can do it by eye, so I haven't used the spoon, obviously. Okay. Right. Once those start to pop, which they will in a moment, hopefully.
I think you should higher the flame, I guess.
Yes. Well, I guess I should, shouldn't I? There you go. It won't be a minute. And actually, while we're waiting for those, I might just add the other seeds in anyway. So I'm going to put in the soft seeds, the coriander seeds. That's probably another teaspoon of each of those.
Crushed ones, okay?
Crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to crush them. And the cardamom, black cardamom. And actually, why not? Let's be devils here. I'm going to put in the Szechuan pepper pods.
Good, you pronounce it correctly now.
Right, so what we're going to do is infuse the oil with those tastes.
It's coming slowly.
Now, yeah, it's coming now. Once you start to hear the popping and you get a nice smell, usually means that it's releasing its flavours into the oil and you can carry on with the next stage. So, those are just beginning to pop now. You can hear those. You don't want to overcook them, you don't want to burn them or anything like that. So we're going to count that as cooked. I'm now going to put in some onion.
Which I find chopped.
Which was so wonderfully chopped.
Look at them.
Each piece of an onion was chiseled out by hand with a Suana.
No, it's so delicate work I have doing this.
Yeah, you can see, can't you? The wonders of Suana. Right. So we're just going to soften those a little bit. We don't want to cook them too much.
Yeah, he's doing at a medium flame now.
Yeah,
So
turn the
that,
flame down a little.
yeah, otherwise the onion will like get burned.
Okay, so they're just beginning to become see-through and soft. So I'm going to put in a few more of the other ingredients now. I'm going to add the chilli. So that was 2 sort of medium green chilies.
Yeah, which are not that spicy.
And I'm going to put in the garlic. I'm going to hold back on the ginger because what I like to do is put it in slightly later because I like the little hit of ginger you get when it's not overcooked. Right, so leave those whizzing around in there a little bit. Now, into this little concoction here, I'm going to add a few jiggery pokery little bits. So I'm going to put a little bit of cumin powder, probably, I'd say those two add up to about a teaspoon of cumin powder.
Or half a teaspoon, you can say.
I'm going to have to discipline her later, as you can tell. Well, it's some cumin powder in there. What we're actually doing today, we're actually videoing me quickly making dinner for us for when I get back from feeding the dogs. So there's not going to be a lot of measurements and things going on, but experiment for yourself. You'll find your level of
Cooking
ingredients.
level.
Yeah. Okay, so next,
What we are doing next, chef?
what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of stock in here.
Okay.
Because it's getting dry, you see the oil's got a bit dry, and I try to keep the oil to a minimum when I'm cooking, especially things like vegetable oil, soy oils and things like that, because they're not hugely good for you. You do have to use a little bit from time to time. So I'm going to use liquid now. Now this is a vegetable stock that I cooked the chickpeas in yesterday. You'll still see some of them in the bottom there. So I'm going to use a splash of that in there. And that will give us a little bit of a start on the gravy as well. So all of the flavours are going to merge in there now into the vegetable stock. And I'm just going to let that reduce down slightly. So while that's reducing, I'm putting in a big pinch of salt. Again, obviously you adjust this to suit your taste and you can readjust it at the end. So it's better to have a bit less and put a bit more in at the end when you're finished, when you know what it all tastes like. I have said this before, just reiterate, it's not very good cooking with lots of spices like this and not adding any salt. It just doesn't taste nice. It seems to sort of activate them, bring out the flavours of each of the different spices, the salt. I suppose it is a kind of flavour enhancer, but the spices just don't seem to work without it. Right, Suanna, have a quick scan. Is there anything I've forgotten to add at the moment? No.
There's, I think tomato puree will go next, I guess.
Tomato puree will go next,
yeah.
Once this is reduced.
And then jaggery little bit because tomato is a little bit citrus. That's why.
Acidic. Yes. So I'm going to put in the tomato puree now. This is a carton, about 200 ml, but usually in the UK you'll get it in a tube or in a bigger can, but it's about 200 ml of tomato puree. You can make your own, have you got the time, just by putting the tomatoes in the blender, but I'm going to use a carton one because I've got to get out soon.
Look at that.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water into here just so nothing's wasted.
Yes.
Another lesson I've learned from Suanna.
I'm glad.
Give that a little whiz around. Okay. Now, as we were saying, into that we're going to need a little pinch of sugar. I'm using jaggery, which is cane sugar.
Jaggery powder, yeah.
Jaggery powder. It's just to take the sort of slight acidity away from the tomatoes. Yeah. Again, you can adjust this slightly again at the end, should you find it's still a bit acidic, add a little more. But that should do it. That was probably a large teaspoon, heaped teaspoon in there, I'd say. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm going to put in now the ginger that held back, so it can get cooked because ginger's pretty strong when you don't cook it at all. So I'm going to put it in now, and I've cut this into sort of matchsticks. It's something I've started doing lately. I actually, funnily enough, I saw it on a Rick Stein video, but he was putting it in raw at the end, which I can't imagine being particularly nice. But maybe it is, maybe it's lovely. But I put them in and cooked them a bit. But I like the size because you get a big hit of ginger from time to time while you're eating your food, which is nice. Right. So now, while that's cooking down, I think I am going to do this. I'm going to start adding the spinach. This is 2 bunches of spinach, probably equivalent to a large bag in the UK of washed spinach, or 2 bunches that you buy at the grocer's store.
Usually, actually, when we do palak paneer in India, we make a puree of palak, but it's not traditional what we are cooking. We are
That's
just
right.
coming out of the box.
I did actually mean to say that, so I'm glad someone has jumped in there. When you go to a restaurant, your palak paneer will be pureed spinach. So they'll put it in the blender, puree it down, so you get a green kind of gravy. With bits
And a
of
runny gravy too.
runny gravy
Yeah.
with bits of paneer in it. And I don't really like it. I like to taste or see the ingredients in my dishes, so I'll keep the spinach larger, just wilt it down. For me, that's better. But again, not traditional. You could puree it should you want to.
And even tomato is not a traditional thing to, like, tomato puree to put in actually. But we do.
I've had a few different versions.
Yeah.
I have had it with tomato, but she's correct. Usually it isn't. I've even had it made with coconut milk, which I wasn't 100% sure about actually, to be honest. But
I think we should try that and check out how it is.
Yeah, we'll try it
Yeah.
one day. Right, so I'm putting my Palak in there. I'm just going to wilt that down. Now, I'm not going to cook this very much because I'm going out before I eat this, and there's nothing worse than slimy spinach. So I'm just going to, basically that's it. So last things I'm going to do is put in the
Soya paneer.
soya paneer. And I'm going to just cover that in a little bit of the sauce. Right, that will do us. And I'm going to turn that off now, and I'm going to cover it with a lid, and I'm just going to leave it until I come back, and then I may rewarm it if it needs it, or if not, I will eat it how it is. But basically that's it. That's our version of Palak paneer. So when I get back, we'll show you what it looks like, and we'll plate it up and everything, and show you. We're going to have it with rice, I believe, and maybe a few little frilly bits around the outside, but we'll have to see how tired I am. Anyway, speak to you later. Bye.